No, we're excited to be rocking out here, and get a chance to hang out with you guys this afternoon. If anybody has been on these webinars before, we do a monthly web series where we try to kick back some knowledge. ROK Financial's in a unique spot in the marketplace. We see about 10,000 applications a month in terms of commercial financing. So we believe we have a good amount of information to share with our network. And this is one of the ways that we found has been best to do so. It's get a chance to interact live in person, and well, virtually in person, not so much in person.
As close as we can get.
Yeah, right now. But we do this every month. So definitely make sure if this is your first one, you keep a lookout for us. We will certainly be back. I want to welcome Tim to the web series here. Tim is our director of partnerships. For those of you that don't know, I'll go a little bit more into our background as we get started on the presentation, but I just wanted to formally welcome you to the channel here.
Absolutely. My first webinar. Honestly, I don't know if I'd be able to do it by myself. So happy to have you here alongside of me. But definitely excited to share some insights, some information, some knowledge that we've learned within our 5 to 10 years in the industry. So
without further ado, everybody can see the screen, right? Like if you could just let me know in the chat.
Absolutely. And if you're one of those that are contemplating asking a question or not, you're probably not the only one that has that question. So you're probably doing not only yourself a favor, but others that are in this group with us. So definitely don't be shy when it comes to asking questions.
Awesome. I see Taz is quick to the trigger. I love that. Tim, just in case anybody wanted to know, Tim has the fastest response time in alternative finance. So as we get going, just keep that in mind. If you ever send him an email, that thing's coming right back. There we are. All right, perfect. So why are we doing this webinar? And I thought that this was probably like the most important thing to explain to everybody is Tim for a very long time was the top partnership rep on our team. Recently, about 8 months ago now, Tim took over the team, is our director of partnerships. That team right now generates $250 million, excuse me, I almost said $250 million annually in referred business. That's volume in loans, right? So you now know that, hey, these guys, they're doing real deals. Our average loan size is anywhere on a given month between about $50,000 and $70,000. So you can do the math and see how many units we're doing just about. There's 10,000 active partners on the platform, 10,000 partners. That's unbelievable to say. I remember when we started rocking, there was really only 1 or 2 that were active for us, that had some confidence in us. So it's awesome to kind of see where things have gotten to. And over 90% of our new business origination is coming through partnerships these days. So that really gives you an idea that we've gone all in on this partner approach or this relationship approach in doing business. We'll talk a lot about our relationships and how we kind of go about things, but just as we get going, what's something that you think, may be missing from here that kind of speaks to, why we're doing this webinar?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the word partnership is oftentimes explained broadly, but really when you think about a partnership, it's where mutual value is being provided to both people that are doing business together. And a lot of the partners that we have are people that work with a very similar customer base to ours. So not only are we helping their existing customer base, but they're also being able to provide additional value to their existing and potentially even their prospective client base if they are able to leverage our platform. And that is why we do have so many different partners and such a wide range of partners in different industries.
You said it perfectly. We've aligned with those that are already aligned with our clients. So it's made it an easier kind of sell for us. And just in terms of partnerships, well, taking a step back, it's really our lead gen strategy, right? Like we utilize this whole process to generate our partnerships, but that's because it's our lead gen strategy. So just some key points that we wanted to point out is, you can utilize many different forms of marketing to generate leads, but having the system around it is what actually matters. right? One of the most important things you can do as a sales individual is ask for referrals. There's a Dale Carnegie stat out there. I don't know it exactly off the top of my head. I'm sure Chat GPT or Google can tell you what it is exactly. But I believe it's only two in every 12 salespeople will ask for referrals, but 1 in every 3 people will give a referral. So you definitely want to make sure that that's part of your system, is just asking for them to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. We even try to make a game out of it, right, to see how many times we can ask for a referral without directly asking. Right. Ways that you can do that are things like webinars. Webinars, newsletters, success stories, right? You can utilize different forms of marketing, social media, videos to kind of use that to loosely ask for referrals. You can go directly into it. You can create an incentive system, right? Like, tell them a little bit about ours, like how would a partner get paid?
So, I mean, essentially within our platform, we offer a variety of different loan programs to business owners. So we have a incentive-based referral system where the individuals that refer us business are compensated for those businesses that end up getting approved, moving forward with the process. So obviously on our side of the business, how we land new relationships is by not only providing value to the businesses that they're working with, but also providing a commission-based incentive that grows over time that will allow them to continually make more and more in revenue from working with us as they develop a relationship with us. So as you're working with people that may want to send you business by potentially offering an incentive and them offering business, obviously they're looking to help their business base, their client base, but an additional incentive, whether it be a review of their platform or it be a financial incentive, is just another way for them to look at you as a strong referral source.
No, absolutely, man. At the end of the day, the whole idea has to be that you're going to adopt the system, right? Like, if you're going to look to do this, you want to make sure that you have a front to back process built around it, where you're not only looking at it, but you're looking at the results and then driving your next moves based on the results that you're seeing, whether they're positive or negative, right? Like, one of the things that we say when it comes to commercial financing is, whether it's an approval or a decline, we're going to learn from that decision. So let's get to the decision, right? The same thing's going to happen in your own marketing efforts. You want to get to the decision, right? Is it essentially approved or declined, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
did it work or did it not? So just again, to kind of keep things going here, you and I will chat it up enough in this.
I was ready to go for another 20 minutes there.
We'll chat it up enough in this, but I want to talk a little bit about kind of why, right? Why referrals and how we kind of stumbled into this. Let me give you guys a little bit of a history lesson really quick. ROK Financial was started on August 10th of 2020. We paused due to COVID. We were originally part of a separate brand, and we spun up the ROK Financial brand and have generated thousands of reviews, helped tens of thousands of clients and partners get access to funding. We've done nothing short of miracle work for the past few years. And realistically, the reason is the partner platform. When we paused due to COVID, we were spending a lot of money on marketing. If you know anything about the industry that we're in, companies like PayPal, Amex, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, Shopify, they've all gotten into the game. They all are big players in terms of how many loans they originate these days. So when you start to talk about, pay to play, you're going up against some of the biggest wallets in the world.
Yeah.
So, we found very quickly that we had to try to go a different route. Our partners leveraging our system is what led us to do that, right? So they trusted us. They trusted us and our relationships and the lenders that we work with and our knowledge of those lenders and the process that we've put in place to get their clients funding, right? They trust us. You go look at our reviews, you can tell why they do so. And that's a major part of the game, but it's also a byproduct of what's actually happened, right? We have higher closing percentages today than we have in the past. We are able to create credibility much more quickly and much more efficiently through the reputation that we've built. So there's so much that goes into why it's made sense for us. But at the end of the day, it's because we've adopted the whole system, right? And then we've identified all these different areas where we can continue to build on that system. And a big part of it has been the team.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's the experience that you guys and the team have provided back to the partners.
Absolutely. And if you take from that experience your own personal experience in building your personal referral network, it's important to know that you're not going to be able to build an entire empire in 1 or 2 days. You really have to start with a few different areas, specialize in those areas, and do all you can to make the most of those relationships, and they will flourish and grow over time. So there's no such thing as an overnight success in this industry. And we know it from working overnight shifts back in the day. So you're going to have to put time in, but when you put those resources in, you put your energy into the people that send you business and that trust you for referrals, they're going to turn it 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, so on and so forth as you continue to grow within that partnership.
No, it's totally true. I always say it's the crawl, walk, run approach, right? I tell the story of one of our SBA provider partners who, when they first sent us business, they sent us a backlog of 600 real businesses, business owners that had engaged for SBA financing. We funded no deals from the first 600 leads. And then since then, they've been a top 2 or 3 partner for us. They make sometimes $10,000+ a week in referral commission. There's not a week that goes by that we're not paying them commissions. I think we're well over like 350 referred and funded deals since that point. So we'll take it.
Absolutely.
And
it's funny that you bring that up, because one thing that's very important in referral relationships is aligning within different areas. So for example, the SBA provider is great at providing SBA, but when someone was unable to access an SBA product, what other programs can they get access to? That's where a marketplace approach like ours has multitudes of different levels of programs that are out there for various different credit ranges, various different industries, so on and so forth.
No, you're totally right. You got to be able to fill the gaps, right? Nobody's everything to everybody, right? So if you know who you are and what you're doing, you can align with those that are right around what you got going on. Let's keep this thing moving here. There we go. I want you guys to read these for a second. I'm gonna literally pause because it's important that you feel the impact of real reviews. You can go find these reviews on Trustpilot and Google from our real clients. ROK, I mean, realistically, you don't even need to go much further than ROK goes above and beyond the call of duty to ensure my clients receive the best service. I appreciate your business, right?
Let alone that someone actually sending us their business.
Yeah, I am truly grateful for ROK Financial and would recommend ROK Financial for any of your financial needs. The most easiest process. Not that that's the greatest typing, but who knows? They might have used text to talk on that one, right? But the point is that it's that when you read this, you can see that we've elicited emotion, and not only emotion, but major positive emotion. If you're somebody who's not signed up, you go to rock.biz /partners. No, I'm just kidding. But you can. But at the end of the day, this is what you can create in your own business. It's not about anything other than that, right? That's why we're doing this today. It's not, we know what we got going on with referral. Tim and I talk about it way too much, from 4:30 in the morning till usually past midnight every day. We're talking about it. So believe me, we know what we got going on. But the questions you guys should be asking yourselves is things like, why should we be leveraging relationships? What is the best way to measure success? What are the best relationships to build at first? I think I even saw some of those types of questions in the chat already, some things kind of around that. So, it's important that, you keep an open mind, right? You start to think about business a little differently. One of the things that I can tell you is COVID certainly, made everything go virtual and this and that. But the age of, virtual business is done. People like to do business face to face, even if that means that you're doing it through a Zoom. They like to see you. They like to interact with you. It's important that you you really start to adapt to that type of mindset because, in sales, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And that's what it's all about. We're all here to get better and grow the bottom line ultimately.
No, absolutely. And you think about that first question of why leverage relationships. I mean, when it comes down to it, if you have a strategic relationship with somebody, there is a zero cost to acquire a lead from that individual. So when you're thinking about growing your brand and maybe not having a very high conversion rate or a very high success rate, you're receiving your leads from somebody that you have a relationship with. You have an explanation of why those leads may or may not be working out, but it's not actually costing you anything out of pocket. So when it comes to referral relationships, that's one thing that's really great outside of being able to build a good reputation and build a relationship with another professional, is the fact that it's not actually going to cost you. It might cost you here and there to do the marketing towards the partners, but actually acquiring that business from a relationship is not going to cost you anything.
No, you're totally right. I just want to mention one more time, if you're just joining us or you're just getting rocking, if you have questions, please put those in the Q&A. That's where we're going to go for all of the questions. So if you have questions, throw those in the Q&A so that we can make sure we get those answered for you. Oop, did I go too far? I think I did. All right, we're back. So no, that was me. Christine is telling me it wasn't her. No, it was definitely me. Fat fingers. So traditional marketing, right? You want to start to think about referral as referral marketing, right? You're definitely going to have an aspect of selling to and through your referral partners, but it's more of marketing than anything. And Tim was just mentioning this. There's no cost of acquisition when you're going through referral, right? You think about some of the traditional marketing forms that are out there. You have paid ads, you can utilize, some different advertising firms, but you got to spend money to make money there, right? So you have that side of things, right? Like how much money are you going to have to invest in terms of that? Whereas, yeah, you might get a little bit of elbow grease involved in the partner side. You might invest a little time, but that time may lead you to revenue. And in that time, you may share in that revenue. And that's where you can get a little creative. So
Yeah, and it's also a little different when you're speaking with a referral partner because you're not really selling that individual. You're more so educating them on ways that you might be able to work with one another to better service each other. So when you're talking to potential relationships, potential people that have similar businesses of what it is that you're looking to offer them, whether it be financing or it be something else, essentially you're just trying to really align with them and figure out the ways that you can benefit one another from being connected and being able to leverage each other's services. So it's a lot easier than actually quote unquote closing a sale because you're more so providing value to people that they work with directly rather than trying to sell them something.
no, exactly. You're totally right. You're totally right. You know, competition, right? Competition is one of the biggest things out right now. You got a lot of people buying, building different marketing campaigns based on what they're seeing from their competition. You got AI building marketing campaigns based on what it's seeing from your competition. So how do you kind of set yourself apart? Well, you get a third party referral source to say, hey, forget all that noise that's out there. This is who you need to be working with, right? That's the major advantage to having that that partner in your back pocket, is them becoming that that person that's able to bridge the gap for you to the customer. And that gap is the trust gap, right? We talked about referrals equaling trust. That's where it starts, right there from that intro.
Yeah, absolutely. And when in the bottom portion saying it helps them sell their company to their prospects, really what it comes down to is if you're a consulting firm or you do credit repair or you do marketing services, a lot of times there's going to be a cost to acquiring your service. So by being able to partner up with a financing company that could potentially help their businesses or their customers access financing to then buy their product or help with the cost of their product, you're now not only working with them on a scale, but you're also helping them onboard more clients, book more prospects. So like, for example, in the equipment vendor world, a lot of times you have a hefty down payment when it comes to financing a large piece of equipment. So business owners will not have that down payment. What can they do? They can access financing to help that down payment. And that covers all different areas, all different services. It could cover marketing services. It could cover credit repair, credit monitoring. It could really cover any type of subscription-based service.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. You want to be able to bring as much value back to the partnership as possible. You know, I know we talked about you can create an incentive-based program, kind of like we have. One of the best incentives that we provide back to our partners is not necessarily the commission. It's the value that comes from them and their customers' relationship initially, right? So, you know, it's a big part of the sell on our end.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people, they are unaware of certain areas, but they have clients that have needs in those areas. So when you can work with someone that's a trusted source, that when they look you up online, they see 600 plus reviews or they see 1,000 on Trustpilot, there's going to be a level of legitimacy there that's available that may not be available to them directly.
Totally right. It's, you know, you want to, I said it before, you want to fill the gaps, but you also want to make sure that you're providing value where it's needed. Right. You know, if there is the gap, good, fill the gap, but make sure that it's not, you know, it's not irrelevant. It's make sure it's a relevant conversation. Make sure you're again providing that value, like you said. So how do you build relationships? I know some people were asking, you know, some of these types of questions. Where do you start? What's going on? How do we do that? You know, I would say the most important thing is probably the third one. Do what you say. If you are some, you know, it may seem simple. Tim laughed a little bit. It may seem simple, but do what you say, right? We're in an industry that is ever changing, right? Our industry is, it changes at the drop of a dime, right? Like if Fed's rates go up, our industry changes pretty drastically, pretty quickly. But at the end of the day, we operate with over almost 100 different lenders at this point. With that being said, they can change their guidelines whenever they want. Some of them change them faster than they change their underwear. We can cut that from the recording. But no, the point is that it's little things like that that hopefully keep you engaged. But no, the point is that if you just do what you say, a lot of times the rest will take care of itself. Right. I once heard what will be, right. But if you can come through and deliver on what you've said, you know, that's a major advantage for anybody that's doing business with you, because there's a lot of overpromise and underdeliver these days. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of, you know, noise in the market. Right. Well, you can really find who the movers and shakers are simply based on the people that do what they say. If you start there, that's a big advantage.
Absolutely. And one thing that you taught me that I now taught to all the guys, teach to all the guys on our team is that you don't want to say too much. You know, you obviously want to give them enough information to help them have an understanding of what it is exactly that you do, how you can align with them, how you can help them, but you don't know exactly what a solution is going to be for a business that you don't know anything about. So by giving ideas and helping them understand ranges rather than exact numbers, you're going to be able to give yourself a lot more wiggle room and not be held to a certain standard or to a set number or to a set rate, et cetera.
And you even bring up a unique point on the back end of that of, hey, when you are talking to somebody about the business and you don't really know too much, well, one thing you definitely don't know is what their definition of success is, right? Like I talk about this a lot with the partnerships team here. We have we have some very large partners that do a lot of business with us, but we have 10,000 active partners. Most of our partners refer in one business a month. That's most of our partners are bankers, attorneys, CPAs, people that don't always have clients for us. They have clients for themselves, but they don't always have clients for us, right? So make them define the success, right? I always say, hey, one of the best questions you can ask in a partnership, especially at the beginning, is, hey, if everything works out and this partnership is successful, what would you define success as? Right? If you ask that simple question, you already know what the target is for your prospect, right? By doing that in sales, you now know what you need to go sell to that person. It makes it so much easier. We wouldn't give somebody a line of credit that wanted an equipment financing deal. We also wouldn't give the same type of partnership to somebody who's got a marketing background to somebody who's a small business banker. It's two totally different approaches. You should take the same thing into the way that you're approaching things, but don't even dictate that yourself. Ask that individual, what is their definition of success? Because that will give you what the real aiming point should be.
Absolutely. And when it comes to a strong relationship doesn't mean you're seeing business every single day from that individual. When it comes to building a strong relationship, it's essentially that when they have someone that fits within what you're offering them or what it is that you're giving to them, that you're going to be there and you're going to do on like slide 3, exactly what you say you were going to do when they have that one ready. So I always end my calls with, listen, if we can help one additional small business owner a year from being connected, that's a win in my book. It doesn't have to be a business every month or every quarter or every, half annual. Is if you have one person that comes across that we can give education to, or we can potentially place with the right company for a loan program, that's a success in my book.
Totally right, man. Totally right. It brings back the point of, hey, if you just do what you say, you'll be all good, right? Like if you were able to really outline, hey, this is the way that we're going to keep in touch, and that's the way that we do it, and you deliver on that, you're all good. Like point number 4 says, keep in touch, right? We have a rapidly changing industry that we're a part of, so we do webinars once a month. No, we send out success stories so that what the most relevant businesses are that are getting the strongest approvals in terms of term, dollar amount, the best payment terms,
Industry.
the best industries that are out there, but you also know what they're qualifying for, right? It keeps you guys in the know. Well, that's using our network to build credibility with new sources. That's what we're doing there. If you guys have somebody that's looking to partner with ROK, the best thing you can do is provide that information to ROK so you can get an override. But it's also us showing you that you can do that. It's also us showing the way to do that, right? And how to make it easy for you to do that for us. You should do the same thing. If you're going to look to build relationships in your business, make it easy for people to make relationships with you. Don't make it this thing where, it's got to be so difficult. When people ask, how do I send you business? I tell them, you can text me, call me, email me. You can email it in, you can use the portal, you can send them their link.
Don't forget the messenger pigeon.
I was going to say, you can use the messenger pigeon or even smoke signals. It doesn't matter to me. We'll figure out a way to get that customer's information in the system, and you'll get your bird's eye view on it all the way through the process. And that you can bank on our white glove service to get that person exactly what they need. And that's a decision, right? Hey, we're going to approve or decline this thing and know why.
Absolutely. One of my favorite sayings is, your network is your net worth. When you think about it, if you have a referral network or you have a lot of people that you do business with, that's essentially what's going to help you grow both personally and professionally. Doesn't always have to be somebody that you meet in a networking group or on LinkedIn or on these sources as well. It could be people that you interact with on a daily basis in different areas of what you do. So definitely, leverage the fact that you offer a multitude of different financial services, or whoever you're partnered with, that you offer those services no matter where you are or who you're with, because you never really know who a good referral source might be. You definitely don't know from looking at them. You definitely don't know from the first few minutes of a conversation, but by asking the good questions and doing things like this, once you do have a relationship, you'll definitely be able to keep that relationship for a very long time.
And you don't know who they know. That's the more important thing, right? Like, they might not seem like the best fit or like the most shoe-in fit, right? Like some of the best partnerships I heard about on the upfront are the ones that never really were, right? Like, the best partnerships are the ones that came out of nowhere and I wasn't really expecting them. That's kind of how it happens. You're gonna stumble into these things as long as you take the approach and stay tied to it, right? So we'll keep it moving here. One of the things we've kind of danced around a bit, but I want to talk more specifically about our business and how we do this, and not to brag about us, but just so that you guys see what our approach is, right? So that you understand, oh, this is what they were thinking. This is why they do it the way that they're doing it. And I can spin it this way in my business. But one of the things that we make sure to do is we understand who are our customers, right? And when you understand who are your customers, you can understand who are their service providers, right? Their service providers can make great partners for you. Now, the other place that you should be looking for partners for yourself are in service providers who are providing services to you, right? If you already have a relationship with somebody because they're providing a service to you in your business, if it's marketing or they're your internet provider or they're, who you, I don't know, do your dry cleaning with, it doesn't really matter. If they're the equipment repair person, right? Like it doesn't really matter. The point is you have a relationship with that person. You can then X the question about referral, right? You gotta tie in the relationship side first, then you can ask about the referral side. But you want to make sure that there's some validity to that conversation. And a big part of that can be, hey, we have mutual customers or we have a mutual relationship already. In our own business alone, right? We take a look at our customers. Our customers are small business owners. Who do small business owners work with? Well, we've gotten pretty good at the partner thing. So we said, wait, not just small business owners. and not just who they work with on services side, but who do they work with specifically in financial services, right? As you can see here, financial services, technology, marketing, accounting, bookkeeping. These are services that are going to be provided to the businesses, right? Or people. Right. So we looked at financial services and we went to bankers first, and then we went to attorneys and CPAs and people who provide technology and sell different manufacturers. We utilize equipment people that are on our platform. Other lenders use our platform. We moved into marketing and influencer marketing and all different avenues of how we've structured our business has come from, hey, who are our clients doing business with? And for us, we got a unique question to answer, because realistically for ROK, it's who is your client, right? We got a few of them. We got, the business owner, absolutely. But we have our referral partners, we have our lenders, we got a few different clients. So make sure you're defining all of these things throughout your process, right? Make sure you're asking the questions, who are my clients? How can I define them? If I have a good understanding of them, I know who's helping them, and I can get into the nitty gritty there.
Absolutely. I mean, a service provider that's already working with you, they're doing you a favor. Now you give them the opportunity of, hey, you're helping me. Let me help you with something, or let me pitch an idea to you. And more so, you're not just looking out for yourself and the revenue stream that you're going to earn, but you're also looking out for them and the betterments of the clients that you're working with. Like, hey, I know you have other small business owners that may use your telephone services, your marketing services, your incorporation services. What if I told you that we can offer a different product to all those people, being that you offer this to someone like myself? So essentially, you're just giving different alignment areas of where you can really co-align with someone, and more so just do better business and more business.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's one of those things where, you're going to be able to scale it if you focus on it, you really buy into it. But more importantly, you're going to learn more about it, right? And as you pitch it, it may not sound so good the first time. So the second time it's going to sound better, and the third time it's going to sound better. Like, you can very easily go out and talk to the best partner tomorrow, and just timing might not be right. We've had partnerships in the past that have, really ramped up at times and slowed down in others, and are really ramped up right now, but might slow down again. That's kind of the weird thing about it, is business is cyclical. So the only thing that's got to be consistent is your approach to the thing, your approach to things, right? You got to come with a product that people are going to want to leverage. You have to come with something that is more than what's out there on the market, right? One of the things that we bring is our team and our knowledge, right? If you talk to anybody who's working for ROK about anything that's going on at ROK, they know what's going on, why it's happening, and they can explain it front to back to front. They can really give you some insight into it. So, as somebody who's a partner, or not a partner, or looking to become a partner, or you're thinking about partnerships in your business, my biggest question back to you is going to be, what does the system look like, right? Is there a system? How does it work? Right? Because if you haven't asked yourself this question, I can assure you that's going to be the first one you're going to get, right? We got people dropping them in there right now in the chat. Once again, the way the system works is you put your questions in the Q&A. No, I'm just kidding. No, but if you can, please put your questions into the Q&A. We will be answering all questions from there, at the end of this. Some of them are getting buried and some of them are really good. I've been trying to read them as Tim's going to see if we can wrap them in, but if you can, please throw your questions into the Q&A. Once you do that, we will get to the Q&A in just a couple of minutes here. I promise you that.
Yeah. And just to kind of touch bases on an additional thing as well, one thing that comes with being a partner of our company is leveraging the rep that you have here, the advisor that you work with directly. If you don't know how to bring up financing to the people that have clients that may need financing, leverage the relationships that you have here. Not only do you have someone in business development, but we also have a floor of advisors. We have people that are on the renewal side of the business, and all of those individuals are willing to help build partnerships, because it only helps all of us. So if you do have someone that you may not know how to have a conversation around about this, or you don't know really how to tiptoe into it, feel free to schedule a call and work with the advisor that you're working with here, and they're going to be happy to help you.
Oh, absolutely. Anything from marketing support to even our accounting team is great. They jump right on everything. One thing I do want to point out is we pay all of our partners directly. We do have an in-house accounting team that handles all of it. So shout out to them. Shout out to Rebecca and that team, because we pay thousands of partners a month. We pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission. One of the most unique days in mine and Tim's short but long careers in partnerships was the day that we broke the system. We broke the SCSI. We officially had to go to our bank and tell them, hey, we got to be able to send out more than $150,000 per week in commission. It was awesome. So they had to up us. We send, anywhere from like right now, I think the last I checked, we were averaging about $170,000 per week in referral commission. So we provide aggressive commissions. We offer a lot of materials and training support. There's a ton of automation that's built out for our partners and for that part of the system, right? So you may be a partner who's like, hey, this is what's going on, but at the end of the day, I need a little bit more, right? Like, this doesn't work for me, or I need a little bit less, or just let us know. We do provide an out-of-the-box partner experience. I think it's phenomenal, right? You're not going to
You
sell
might
me.
be a little biased.
Yeah, you're not going to sell me otherwise. But that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And I'm the first person to tell you the best thing you can do is have a real conversation with somebody who can help you shape it so that you can use this tool. We're nothing to anybody that can't use this tool themselves, right? Like they have to be able to implement it into their own process. And that's how they're able to scale it for us. One of the things I do want to point out though, is that we are all over this thing, right? When it comes to it, you can find us everywhere. We're going to be in your hometown, your cousin's hometown, your friend's hometown. We're here in person all the time. You can call us on Saturday. You can call us on Sunday. You can call us at 11 o'clock at night. It does not matter.
You're calling me, I'll answer 24/7.
Yeah, we're always working. I don't know about 24/7. I usually sleep like 3 to 5 hours a night. But I'm definitely rocking out early. I'm rocking out late. We all are. We get after it. We believe in what we're doing. And I want to point out that networks and associations thing, like we're a part of every association, from equipment financing to just general brokering to the National Restaurant Association to
credit union organizations, banking organizations.
Yeah. We're big sponsors of the SBDC. Shout out to anybody who's a part of the SBDC on this webinar here. If you don't know what the SBDC is, that's the Small Business Development Centers. They're all over the nation. They're in every state. They're not the best talked about thing out there, but I can assure you they're a huge, huge, huge resource to small businesses in your area. You should align with them if you're looking for for some relationships. But think about things like chambers of commerce. Think about things like I know people that have pulled business off of Eventbrite. They've utilized Craigslist. They've utilized Snapchat. They've utilized Instagram and Facebook, and they've driven ads. They've done reels. They've done TikToks. And I promise you, if you put enough focus behind it, and you go with enough intention behind it, you will see success. But the question is are you persistent enough to get to that point, right? Because everybody's going to fail on their way to success. So that's the most important part of things. How do we build relationships? It's a rock solid mentality and a rock solid approach. We utilize smart people like Tim and his team to really, really keep in contact with you guys. Your needs may change as a partner, right? So yeah, we may have this out of the box system. We're going to continue to do webinars, and we'll continue to upload training videos, and you'll get more materials, and there'll be more marketing as things get updated. But at the end of the day, it's the relationship that you develop with that individual. It's having conversations back and forth around things that allow you to really grasp what's going on and use this platform, right? So as we kind of start to get to the back end of the presentation here, anything we've missed, Tim?
No, I mean, I would love to go through some of these bullet points here. I mean, one of our like best kept secrets is the fact that we're very personal where we need to be and very automated in the areas where we can be. So what that allows us to do is be very consultative driven, and like you mentioned a few times, white glove approached, where if a business owner needs an hour on the phone learning everything about the ins and outs of every product that we offer, we have no problem taking that hour of our day out to not only help that individual but help our partner who referred us that individual, because we know that the technical side of our business is going to be able to process their application and get them an approval within 3 to 4 hours. That's only going to be 4 hours after we were initially introduced to them. So
And not to interrupt, but who's got the team out there that's got time to do this for everybody's clients? Well, we do, right? There's a major team behind this thing that's here. You know, we have 25 or 30 internal sales reps. We're just over 50 external sales reps. So our team is hungry. I can assure you, they want to talk. Book them the call.
absolutely. And in regards to like training videos, anything that you learn on there, or any questions that you have, that's the kind of stuff that you definitely want to bring up to the representative that you're working with here. If you have any questions, those are always going to be, best next on a call directly to us. Leveraging affiliate material, it doesn't take any knowledge or any experience to be an affiliate. You can have a website, you can be on social media, you can post on Facebook. It could be as easy as letting people know, hey, I'm offering this new service. Here's a link if you want to learn more about it. Who knows what can come from it? So even if you don't have the biggest network, or even if you're just starting to build your network, don't think that you need to have 50,000 or more followers to be able to bring in traffic from affiliate marketing.
No, no, not at all. There's a lot smarter people than me out there that are doing more with less, I always say that, so make sure you're pushing the envelope where you totally can. I see some people got to sign on, sign off, all good. I just want everybody to know, if you were signed up for this, you will get a copy of the presentation, as well as a copy of the recording here. So if you got to jump, we totally get it. We appreciate you rocking out more than anything. Some of the things that you may ask yourselves is, how does ROK actually generate leads, right? We do all these things and talk about partners and generating partners and this and that, but where do the leads actually come from? So we put the ultimate influencer, shout out to Kim K, right? But no, the ultimate influencer, right? We utilize a lot of influencers. Some of you may have seen us through some influencers. Shout out to the Credit Plug, Andrew Cartwright, some of the other ones that are out there. But if you guys know of influencers, you can align with them, get them to explain what you're doing in your business. And now, boom, you have this person, right? I will tell you, you got to pay to play a lot of the times. So make sure you're ready for that conversation and how to kind of structure things. But we've utilized a lot of influencers. Some have come into our office and shot videos here. Some have done some things from their local stuff. We've gone to them. They've done videos with us in person, you name it. And we've done it. That's for sure.
If you think of an influencer that has 25, 50, 100,000 followers in relative to someone that's an accounting firm that has a book of business of 500 people, think about it. You might be able to touch 10x through an influencer with 50,000 followers than you can an individual with a book of 500 businesses. So you might not be able to really tell what their exact audience is, but if they offer a service, so you think that they might like affiliate with business owners or put out content for business owners, that's someone that you'd very well be able to align with.
No, you're totally right. You are totally right. Um, when you're looking to align with somebody, it really is all about the value that you bring back to the relationship, right? So make sure that you are very concise when you're dealing with influencers. A lot of times they got a lot of people approaching them, so you want to make sure that you get your message across quickly and clearly as to what you're looking for and what you're looking to do. This way they can let whether it's worth their time. I've talked to a lot of them. They're normal people. They all put their pants on one leg at a time, from as far as I know, at least. But no, the point is that you can have a real conversation with them. You can do real business with them. You may even have to go through a third-party source to get to them. Challenge yourself to go into your network and see who they can introduce you to. Shout out to our partners that have introduced us to the influencers. They got a hell of an override coming their way, right? Keep that in mind, right? We do a lot of business through banks. I would say this is probably where we do the bulk of our business, is through bank turndowns, right? People who were recently declined at the bank that are no longer able to get funding there. They can get funding through us. By getting funding through us, we can then savor that relationship with the bank, right? The banker, the bank, the customer, everybody's happy as long as they get the funding. They don't necessarily care if it's from ROK or the bank directly.
Absolutely. If you go into your bank and you're looking for a new account, or you're looking for an auto loan, or you're looking for something specifically regarding financing, and that bank can't give it to you, they're just going to go to the one that's across the street. So how you can leverage working with someone like a platform like ours is that you can help them preserve the relationship, but potentially retain that client from going to another bank that may be able to service them and fulfill what they're looking for.
No, you're totally right. Social media is big for us. In-person events. I know I've said we're going to be at a lot of events this year. But yeah, events being in person, we utilize all of it in forms of marketing, though. That's what I wanted to mention is all of this has been combined into then what we put out on the back end, right? So if you take a look at all of this, and you blend it together and you think about all of the content that can come from it, you think about all of the stories you can tell, we utilize all of that in newsletters, in our webinars, uh, in all of our success stories, right? You're going to see a lot of this stuff. So you should do the same thing. If you're going to take this approach, make sure your juice is worth the squeeze, right? If you're doing all this stuff anyway, get the value of it on the marketing end as well, because that's going to be where you're going to double and triple your investment into these things, is being able to go back to the well and say, hey, every time we post that picture with Damon John from Tony speaking at the same event that he was speaking at, we get X amount of engagement. Or every time we post that picture of, Pat and the credit plug back when they were chopping it up in person, we get X engagement, right? Like you can use that to your advantage. You can go back to market with this information, right? And leverage it again. That's the major point.
Yeah. And when it comes to events too, we're always looking to expand our outreach and go into new areas. So if you're not a partner yet, or you are an active partner and you're a part of any associations that you think we may be able to find valuable, definitely don't hesitate to bring that up to us. And then we'll even have the opportunity to meet face to face rather than just through screen.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We love that. We love that. At the end of the day, guys, really what it's going to come down to is, your own success is going to be determined. I said this yesterday in a meeting, and Tim looked at me crazy. I told him your altitude is determined by your attitude, right? So make sure that as you go into things, you got an open mind, right? You don't know what it's going to become. We did not know we were going to be basically 100% partnership driven. We were shooting for 30 to 50% would have been great for us. But now we've created this platform where we have the industry's best CRM experience in terms of what we're giving back to our partners these days through the Salesforce communities experience. You literally are logged into our CRM, and it's not only a CRM, it's the CRM. If you know anything about CRM companies, Salesforce is at the top. You get multiple points of contact here, right? I want to shout out Tim, but as well as the finance managers and the funding advisors. You can utilize any of their knowledge to really leverage what's going on with your customers, where your referrals are at, or where they can be, right? Talk strategy with Tim. You want to know about how you can leverage ROK? This is who you want to be talking to. You want to be talking to him and the team who are implementing these same systems over and over again amongst thousands of other partners. We have 10,000 partners that are actively using this. How do you become one of those people that are also doing it? Have that quick strategy call, utilize that. And this way you get access to real-time information of what's really going on today. We're not going to tell you something that happened 6 months ago or what was going on 2 years ago. Why? Because it's irrelevant. And we need to know what's happening today so we can make educated decisions. That goes into our reach. We have over 11 different products, from term loans, lines of credit, cash advance, equipment financing and leasing, factoring and AR and commercial real estate.
ABL, SBA.
Yeah, all these different products. 75. I mean, we're closer to 100 lenders these days, but over 75 different lenders. There's so many different advantages that you get from leveraging ROK. Find one, leverage it, and use it, right? Or use the whole system. It really doesn't matter to us. I told you guys earlier, the best question you can ask your partners or potential partners is, what does a successful partnership look like to you? We're going to do the same thing for you. We want to know, how do we deliver for you? You tell us, and that's the experience you're going to get. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And just looking at this list, I'm thinking about, you guys and growing your own relationships. You should think of a few bullet points of the benefits of working with you. So when it comes to a point in a conversation where someone's like, hey, why should I send business to you and your company? Well, you have a list of things as, your access points, your resources and things like that to show that you're different and you're the one that they should be working with rather than similar professionals, being that financing is a very saturated market.
No, you're totally right. And the last thing that I got to say to that is make sure you got a rock star marketing team that puts together presentations and productions like this one, so that that you got the red light behind you, you got the behind the scenes beforehand, you got the warm up videos, right? It really is important, right? How you approach this whole system will determine how successful you're going to be, and the more value and resource you put behind it, the further you're going to be able to push this thing along. So I challenge you to do the same thing. Make sure that you got marketing support behind it. Make sure there's operational support, accounting, everybody from our lead team to our production team to our, you mentioned the renewal team, the finance managers, everybody is involved in referral. Everybody knows what's going on with it. Our marketing team is looking up strategies for our next 6 webinars that we're doing, right? Like everybody is bought into this. So if you're going to take this approach, you may be a one-person show, you may have some virtual assistants, you may be looking down some routes like that. Like that's how you got to think. You got to think, how do I have every system set up to where it's supporting the approach that we're taking? We talked about it in the beginning. This is our lead gen strategy. Our lead gen is partnerships. So that's why you're getting a full view of what it means to be in partnerships here with ROK. Well, the reason that we have it is because you're going to get a bird's eye view on all of the business.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of the partners that we have let us know that they're getting their business through referral. So you're not someone that's really focusing on partnerships. It's just one of those areas that you can really utilize to diversify yourself and be able to kind of, grow your client base and then grow a partner base from that. That won't just last one time. That'll continue to grow over time and become more longevous.
No, you crush that. That's the best thing that I could have told you. Our number one lead source for partners is other partners. And if we ask a partner, where do they get their business? It's 99% say referral, right? So just keeping that in mind, you should have some sort of approach around this, right? Some additional tips and tricks. You can utilize our affiliate images, right? There are buttons and banner ads and all different sizes and social medias. You can utilize all of our ads. You can put them into email campaigns, text message campaigns, social media campaigns. Does not really matter. You can utilize our free social media content. Our marketing team provides content literally twice a week. So you'll never run out of content. There's generic content. There's ROK related content. There's product specific content. There's stuff that's business tips. There's blog posts, all that you can share at your fingertips. You can align with that directly through the CRM and directly through your partnership advisor. If you have a list of people and you want us to do the prospecting, we can totally do that. We make cold calls. We do email campaigns. We cleanse data. We go through the whole process for you. Guess what happens? It's all going to be uploaded and directly into the CRM for you to see anyway. So you're going to see where everything is at, what's going on with it, what converted, what didn't. This way you can continue to leverage the system. And the last piece is make sure you're utilizing free resources out there. There's Calendly for your calendar scheduling. You can use link shorteners like Tiny URL is what we recommend, but there's plenty of them. There's Canva where you can edit and make different presentations, kind of like the one we got here. You can use Hootsuite to schedule your social media. I mean, there's so many. There's, we utilize Sales Navigator. We utilize DocuSign. We utilize a lot of paid resources behind some of this stuff too. So make sure you're building a system around it. And then what are the resources and potentially free resources that can help you support your system?
Absolutely. I mean, even thinking of like groups, like LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups, those are just a resource tool within social media where you can tap into tens, 20, 30 thousands of people with one message. So you can go out there and you can message one person at a time, or you can position yourself in groups within social media or associations within similar industries that you can get your message out to a mass amount of people rather than just going individually and messaging.
And when you go into a group, they're all there for that reason, right? I'm a part of a GM group because I drive a GMC Sierra 1500, right? So I'm in the Facebook group about GM, right? I'm big into football, so I'm in a bunch of different football groups, right? I'm following hashtags the same way, right? You can look at hashtags the same way. All of these things are out there for your taking. The data is there, I promise. But people have segmented themselves. That's the one thing social media has done, is it's allowed everybody to put themselves into a box.
Yeah.
You just got to go find it, right? And then you share the information with them, right? You can use free resources, or you can utilize ROK to help do it for you. That's pretty much the nature of the beast, right? At the end of the day, there's a lot of different ways to do business, and we're well aware of that, but we've adopted this consultative approach where we take a relationship driven mindset, and we look to leverage our relationships with our lenders, our relationships with our partners, and ultimately develop relationships with small business owners. So try to think of how you can implement something similar in your business. The last thing is this is not a shameless plug. I'm totally going to plug our team here. Make sure you follow us on social media. You'll hear all about our webinars. You'll hear all of our success stories. But this is where you get the latest and greatest, man. We are constantly pushing content. Constantly. If you use this QR code here, it'll take you to our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Did I miss any?
LinkedIn, Twitter,
LinkedIn.
Facebook, Instagram. And some of this content, it's not all going to bore you either. It's product knowledge, it's industry information, it's how industries can utilize programs, or how you can potentially position yourself in certain areas. Tony and I are always happy to get in front of the camera and talk about different things that we learn as we learn them, because the more our partners know about what we do, the more we're all going to be able to grow, both personally and professionally. So definitely don't hesitate to follow us, because there's going to be a lot of content that's a given, but a lot of that content is going to be very educational and informational,
and some of it's going to be super fun. You can watch Tim and I get pie on Pie Day. We were just at an event in NYC. We had awesome views. You could have heard some of the feedback from that, but like Tim mentioned, you may even be able to pull some things out that you can utilize in terms of knowledge, but also your own marketing. We provide marketing tips, business tips. You can take that stuff, film your own videos, spin it in your own words, right? Create images behind them, whatever you need to do. And then if you're looking for additional marketing support, send a message to the team. They're there. If you got any questions, I promise you they'll write you back. They're excited for things like that. So make sure that you follow us. And more importantly, we will follow back. I can totally tell you that. And we're going to interact. So just know that we're there. And the last thing is if you're trying to become a partner, I saw a bunch of people ask this already. You can go to rok.biz/partners, or you can call into us right now. Tim's team is waiting. They're ready to rock, as we say. But we're more than excited to get any new partners onboarded here, and really kind of push this thing to the limits. We're out of Long Island, New York, and Great River, in case anybody was wondering. I know I made everybody else tell everybody where they were from, and I didn't even mention where we are. But yeah, we're out of Long Island, New York, but we are constantly on the road. We are excited to come to you. We do in-person trainings for different sales teams. You name it, we're ready to rock. So how can we help?
If you're ever in our area and you want to come check out our office, trust me, we want to show it off. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out and come by.
You can come check out the ROK studio, the office, that's for sure. We more than appreciate you guys rocking out with us. Thank you so much again, guys, and we'll catch you next time. And until then, keep rocking.
And if anyone's here with an unanswered question, make sure you bring that to your business development rep.
Thanks, guys.